friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I am so happy to see you today. It is Monday, so I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I hope you took some time for yourself this weekend. I hope that you and your loved ones are doing well and taking care of the best that you guys can. I hope that you got a little bit of a reprieve from the world, even if it was just for 5 minutes, but hopefully you got a little bit longer. I hope that you took some deep breaths, that you set aside some time to do something that you enjoy. Maybe sit down with a warm beverage if you're somewhere where it's cold. Those just kind of hit the spot right now. Maybe picked up a book or picked up a crochet project. Maybe flipped on your favorite YouTube channel or your favorite TV show. Just something that's going to bring you some joy, some positivity, and that is just for you, for your enjoyment. Not to get something done, not to, worry about or work for someone else. Just something for you. I hope that you took the time to do that this weekend. If you did, and if you did do anything fun, or even just something mundane, but you found it relaxing and enjoyable, let me know down in the comments below what you got up to this weekend. So this was a holiday weekend. Last week on Thursday was Thanksgiving. So you may have celebrated and kind of went into the weekend. Maybe you had a few days off of work. Maybe not though. Maybe you did have to work. Let me know what you guys got up to. So hubby had time off for Thanksgiving and he is back to work today. I had a weird week last week. Kind of did things differently than usual. Spent more time with hubby for sure. We got a lot of quality time together. You guys know last week was my birthday and our anniversary and Thanksgiving. So it was kind of a little sparse on content for the channel, but I am back into full swing this week. And guess what, you guys? This week is going to be the beginning of our 25 days of Christmas. So if you guys didn't know, this week is actually going to be the beginning of December. And on my channel, I like to do something called the 25 Days of Christmas. And what that is basically starting December 1st all the way through December 25th. I come on every day. So it is a vlog. What is it? Is it Vlogmas? Yeah, it's kind of a Vlogmas style thing where I come on every day, but it is an event. I like to make the biggest deal about this, and the whole idea is just to have fun, to go all out, have fun, spread cheer, soak up all those positive vibes, put out all those positive vibes into the world with you guys, and just to have something fun that you can look forward to every day, that we can all come together and just enjoy ourselves. So I have a lot of things that I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on doing a 25 Days of Christmas hot cocoa advent this year. I did do that last year for my 25 Days of Christmas as well. But this year, my sister actually got the hot cocoa advent calendar that we're using, and she made sure that it was 25 different flavors of cocoa. So last year everybody really enjoyed, and I really enjoyed doing the new flavor of cocoa every day, opening up the little window and seeing what the flavor was. I made sure not to look at it so I wouldn't know what the flavors were going to be. But the only drawback to that was I didn't know that there were repeats. So as we got further in, about halfway through, there started being repeats cropping up, which was okay. It was only like, I want to say there were probably 12 different flavors, or maybe even like 13 or 14 different flavors or something. But then you started hitting the repeats. So this year we have one with no repeats, and some really good brands of coffee, like good coffee brands in there. But this is a hot cocoa advent calendar. I think they're all hot cocoa. I don't know. There could be some coffee in there. I don't know. I'm actually so excited for it though. I do love coffee, so if there's coffee in there, that is totally cool. I don't mind at all. But we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing snowflakes. I've got different things planned. I plan on chalking this full of tutorials and stuff as well, just kind of sprinkled throughout. We'll definitely get up to some different stuff. Last year I made ornaments. I think I made an ornament every day last year, or almost every day last year. I think it was my goal every day to make an ornament. I had a tree set up behind me, and it was a smaller tree than this one, and it had no ornaments on it at the beginning, and my goal was to make ornaments throughout the season. And I also made snowflakes. So I made a lot of snowflakes, and I did go ahead and put some up. You can see one right there. They're kind of sprinkled in throughout this wall, and I am going to put up some more of them. And you may also notice that this is looking a little bit nicer. I finally got hubby to help me put some things up higher up on the walls. So I got some of these things that I had been hanging off my cubes, which was really annoying because I had to take them off every time I wanted into my cubes, up in this blank space on the wall, which I think looks so much better. And then I also got him to hang the Merry Christmas banner. I was able to finagle my way up to hang it on the I had it hanging somewhere around where the star is on the wall off of a push pin. I just kind of like I kind of like put it up like that, but he went ahead and actually got up and like hung those up for me, so it's looking a lot more put together back there. Very excited to be starting our 25 days of Christmas. I will link the playlist for last year down in the description box in case you are wanting to get started into your Christmas vibes or your holiday vibes in general. You do not have to celebrate Christmas. That is not a requirement to be here or to be part of this fun thing that we do at all. It's more about the spirit of it all and enjoying ourselves and just having fun, you know, spreading positivity and just having a good old time with each other. So if you would like to see that, I will put it in the description box. But basically the stuff that I was getting up to over the weekend and last week is I have been working on a new amigurumi. I started working on a Hobbit amigurumi. I'm making Bilbo. If you guys have ever seen the Hobbit movies, you may remember Bilbo Baggins. He also is in the Lord of the Rings movies as an older character, but he's a younger character in the Hobbit series. And my niece, her nursery is going to be Hobbit themed. So my sister wanted me to make this Hobbit for like a really awesome, I don't want to say really awesome because I'm making it, but really awesome plushie. You know, there's not very many Hobbit specific plushies. There really aren't any. She did get a Hobbit themed Build-A-Bear. They have like, I think it's Frodo themed Build-A-Bear. But like other than that, there aren't really like plushies of the Hobbit characters specifically. So she found a pattern that she liked and she was like, hey, can I commission you to make this? So I am working on that. And I will be showing you guys that a little bit this week. I'm also working on the Hobbit door rug that I'm making for her nursery. And I will be showing you guys an update on how that's going. I picked back up a WIP that I haven't been working on for quite a while, which I have right here. I'm actually going to show you guys that today. I did a little bit of coloring. I've been using my gel pens that I got from my Temu haul. So just some like little different stuff. And then also playing Pokemon. I picked up Pokemon Shield again. Well, it's actually in my Switch, so I didn't technically pick it up. Well, I picked up my Switch, but it is a downloaded game on there. So hubby and I really got like into the Pokemon vibes over the weekend. We were playing Pokemon Go. There was a community day. If you guys ever played Pokemon Go, they have these things called community days where for like a 2-hour window, there'll be a whole bunch of a certain Pokemon showing up, and like your chances of getting a shiny are higher, and also so it's just higher because you're catching like a bajillion of the same Pokemon. And for all of you guys that aren't into Pokemon and don't know what any of that means, a shiny is just a different color variation of a Pokemon. So like, let's just say, I'm not going to give like a really great example, but let's just say Pikachu. Pikachu shiny is like really not great. Pikachu shiny looks so similar to just Pikachu, but let's just pretend for the sake of this example, Pikachu is yellow, right? Everybody kind of knows what Pikachu looks like. Imagine it was pink. That could be its shiny. It's not its shiny. Its shiny isn't that cool. But some of them do have shinies that are that cool. It was a Mareep day, if you know Pokemon at all. Mareep is a sheep-looking Pokemon that is normally yellow, and it has a pink shiny. But anyways, I'm not going to spend too much time going into that because, you know, that's Pokemon and not everybody that watches is into Pokemon. But it is something that I love a lot, so of course I have to mention it a little bit. So we played Pokemon Go. We had so much fun. It was honestly a blast. We had good food. We spent time with family. Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff we got up to sort of over the weekend and also kind of partially last week because, like I said, last week's content was a little sparse and strange just because I did have a lot of stuff going on outside of the channel. But yeah, I'm really excited for this week and getting into our 25 days of Christmas. By the way, I'm not sure if this is going to show up at all. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's going to. But I do have a bruise right here. It's kind of at a weird spot, so it's, I didn't know if it would show up. But if you do see that, that's just from an IV. I did go to the hospital over the weekend. I was having some really, really, really bad headaches, like in the middle of the night / early morning. And then I went to the hospital just to make sure everything was okay, because they were like severe sudden onset headaches. And I do, my grandmother, I didn't notice that I have this inside out. Okay, I put this inside out on purpose because my cats view it as a personal challenge to play with this. So I put the tassels of this inside and they're like permanently tied up really tight, because otherwise my cats think that these are literally cat toys. So if you ever see me wearing this shirt and it looks really funky right here, that's why. My grandma did pass away from an aneurysm rupturing, and she was only 54 when that happened. It was out of nowhere. Nobody knew she had an aneurysm. She was, you know, a pretty healthy person. I don't think she really had anything going on other than just like mental health stuff, but yeah, so that happened out of nowhere, and so that's always like something that has been kind of like scary and in the back of my mind. And then I was having some really, really bad headaches, like the worst headaches I've ever had, and they seemed really like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but I was waking up with really severe headaches, and just like I couldn't even talk, like my head hurt so bad. And I think that, you know, at this point I'm guessing that they were probably migraines, but they did do a CAT scan and blood work and everything came out fine. So that's what I cared about, was just making sure it wasn't something like an aneurysm. When I looked it up online, it said if you have like a sudden onset headache like that, to go to the emergency room if it's like a really bad, like worst headache of your life type of thing, because it could be something severe. You know, it isn't necessarily, but it could be, and it's just one of those things that you should just go to the emergency room and make sure, you know. So I did do that, and thankfully they also did get rid of my headache. Being at the emergency room, they went ahead and gave me some medication, and so I have actually 2 IVs. The first one that they put here, because they always put one here. I hate IVs in the bend of my arm. I just like, I do not like them putting things in the bend of my arm. I sit there with my arm like this the whole rest of the time that I'm there. And then like, heaven forbid you're actually there for a long time, because usually when you go to the emergency room, you end up there for like your whole entire life. And then you have this thing in your arm, and they don't even necessarily have it hooked up to anything, but they leave it there and they just kind of tape it on your arm and leave you wearing it. And like, if you have to go to the bathroom or anything, you got to take that with you. I really don't like IVs. They freak me out a bit. But anyway, they blew this IV. That's kind of a... I was really frustrated because, I mean, I didn't, like, act frustrated because I would never be, like, frustrated to the workers at the hospital. But she put the IV in, and she was just pushing a saline flush through it with, like, a syringe. It hurt so bad. I've had them, like, break needles or something if they were, like, new, you know, like, their first time doing IVs and they're practicing or whatever, like, you know, they have the helpers, or the students with them. I've had them, like, break needles and stuff like that doing it before, so I'm not, like, a total stranger to, like, messed up IV issue, things, and I bruise really easy, so it's not uncommon for me to bruise. I have never had it hurt for them to put something into the IV like that. Like, it hurt so bad. And I'm telling her, I'm like, oh my God, that hurts. Ow, 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 that hurts. And she's just kind of like, does this hurt still? And I think maybe she thought she needed to slow down or something. I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, that still hurts. And then she finished and taped it to my arm or whatever and left. And then a different nurse came in when it was, like, time to do other stuff. And she's like, okay, the doctor ordered this and this. We're going to do, like, an anti-nausea and a pain medication. Because I was also really nauseous, which when I have, like, severe pain, I do get nauseous usually. And so she went over there and she starts to put, I'm assuming, a saline flush in it again. And I'm like, ow, 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 that hurts. And she's like, oh, yeah, your IV blew. And I was like, yeah, it was hurting really bad when she was doing the flush on it. And I told her, and she's like, yeah, I'll get you a different one. And she's like, do you care if I put it in your hand? And I was like, I don't care. You put wherever you want. I've never had one in my hand. I was like, you can put it wherever you want. That hurts so bad. And I've never had, like, it hurt to put liquid into an IV before. So she comes back and she's like, actually, I'm going to do it in your, like, forearm. And I'm like, great, go for it. I much preferred it there anyways. I wish they would just put it there because I don't want it in the bend of my arm. It freaks me out. But yeah, and I knew when she put that IV in, like, when she left, the first one, when she left the room afterwards, I told my hubby, I was like, I think she put it in, like, too deep or something. It hurts. Like, it feels like it's digging in. But yeah, so that was fun. But other than that, it was like, you know, everybody was really nice and everything, which is nice. You know, sometimes they have a really high stress job and sometimes they're not in the best of moods and stuff like that. So I always really am happy when they have, like, a good bedside manner or, like, are in a good mood. I don't like I don't like being around people when they're upset. So yeah, I was glad that they switched people, though, because the first lady also just didn't seem very in a good mood. So that was my weekend. But like I said, it all did, you know, come out fine and everything turned around. The community day was actually after the Pokemon community day was actually after the hospital thing, because we actually weren't there too long, like maybe 3 hours, which, you know, when you go to the emergency room, that's not bad. They didn't have a lot of people there, thankfully. And they got me back for a CAT scan even before I got back for a room. They actually came and got me they triaged me and then put me back in the waiting room until they had a bed open up. And then they actually came and got me and took me for the CAT scan and then back to the waiting room for a little bit. So they had that going already. And then when they took me back, they went ahead and drew blood. So I wasn't there too long. So that was really nice. But anyways, guys, that's kind of the vloggy update part of the video, and also telling you guys what's in store coming up. But now, you guys want to see some crochet? So I've got here a pile of squares. So what this is, you guys may remember this if you've been around for quite a while, like a year. Last year, I started to do this blanket project, which was the Hodgepodge Granny Crochet Along by Cozy Rosie here on YouTube, and I will link that in the description box in case you guys are interested. But what it was a 30 squares crochet along, and I was doing it as it came out. Well, that was my plan. It was 30 squares that would come together and make a blanket. They're big squares. Well, this was the first one. I absolutely loved it. I had so much fun. I'm showing you guys this one because it was so much fun to do. But this was the spike stitch granny square, and I loved it. I really want to make more of this square. So this was the first square, and then the second square, I believe, was this offset trinity stitch square. So it looks like this, and my hubby fell in love with this. So it is the squishiest, prettiest texture. It is like really squishy stitches. It just works up so gorgeous. And the yarns that I'm using for this are all Hobby Lobby clearance yarns. I got these Fireplace Comfort yarns in the Hobby Lobby clearance, not this year, but last year. These are normally $8.99 a skein. So these were $9. This was before they raised their prices too. Like, you know, semi-recently Hobby Lobby kind of bumped all their yarn prices up by like $1. So this was a $9 skein of yarn. So now it would probably have been $10 if they were to have these. But they discontinued them, and this was in the clearance, and look how beautiful. So these were only $2.24 in the clearance. So I bought quite a few of these in different colorways. Not sure what I was going to do with them, but they're just absolutely stunning, and the price was fantastic. Well, after seeing the way these squares were coming out, hubby decided he needed a blanket in this square design pattern. So rather than continue following the crochet along, I shifted my plan into doing these, because the crochet along after that, the third square started being one of the more holy designs with lots of, you know, holes in it. And hubby wanted a more solid blanket, you know, without a lot of holes in it, like this, like how this design doesn't have a lot of holes in it, and this design doesn't have a lot of holes in it. So what I did was, I'm thinking this will probably go in the middle, but I don't know. Maybe I'll make more of it. But what I started doing was I started making more of these. So I've got these. These are all in like the same colorway. And then here is a different colorway. And let me show you guys this one up close too. I really love this, and a hubby, like, when he saw this, he flipped out. He was like, that is the most beautiful stitch I've seen. That is my favorite stitch. And I had never heard him talk like that about like stitches, you know. Normally he about like stitches, he would just be like, oh yeah, whatever, you know. Like, he's not aware or caring about like the special techniques, what the names of them are or anything like that, but he just like fell in love with this offset trinity stitch that I was doing for the square. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make him a blanket. And each square takes quite a while to do, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, and then this one, so 6 squares for that blanket made. Well, I decided I wanted to try something I haven't done before, something I've been meaning to do, but just like never actually got around to it because I'm always so like busy and having other plans for crocheting. I really struggle with like having a lot of different things I want to try in crochet, but I fall into the same patterns of like making amigurumis and I do a lot of like the same type of stuff. So it's like, I want to try something different. So, you know, I have like a million WIPs, but I was like, I'm going to do something new. So I'm like, I'm going in here to pick out yarn for it. And I'm like, you know what? I recently started to work on this blanket again. Hubby was like, hey, you know that blanket that you started making for me a year ago? I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I should probably get back to working on that. So I'm kind of hoping I could get it done before Christmas. I think that would be really cool. But definitely want to get it done sometime soon so he can use it during the colder months. So anyways, the new skill that I wanted to learn was C2C. So that is C2C. and it's corner to corner. A lot of you probably have heard of it. A lot of you have probably done it. Well, I proceeded to look up a YouTube video. I don't remember what YouTube video I used. But regardless, I literally watched it for 5 seconds and was like, okay, I know how to do C2C now. It's really, really easy, and super quick. I love the feeling of how it works up. So I decided that I was going to make some of these squares in C2C. So now that I know how to do it, all I did was figured out how to do it, worked up till the halfway point like it said to, then I came back to the video, really quickly learned how to start decreasing it, and that's literally all I did. And I went around the edges and did a single crochet border. So here is what this yarn looks like in C2C. This colorway I think is my favorite colorway that I have used out of this. Look at those colors. I love to hold them at like an angle like this, but obviously, you know, here's them in square, actual holding them in square. Oh man, that is just stunning. That is literally gorgeous. I love it so much. This one's definitely my favorite colorway. Okay, so that was one, and then I also got two more. You guys remember I made one square in the offset Trinity stitch in this yarn. Well, here is the difference making the offset Trinity stitch one and the C2C. The C2C, I feel like I might need to block it a little bit. Either that or, you know, it'll kind of block itself when I actually make the blanket, but they don't, you know, lay as perfectly square. And this looks smaller, by the way, but this stretches a lot bigger than it looks. I know it's looking a lot smaller, but like when I lay them down, it's so easy to stretch it to the size. That's why I'm thinking I might need to block it, because this stretches so easily to the size. Like, it's got a lot of stretch to it. But yeah, so I measured how big to make these to make it the same size as the other squares. And this is the way that the colors look in those. And so I've made 3 of the three of the C2C in this. And I'm loving it. I really, really do. I also am just like kind of obsessed with C2C now. So I really want to do some more stuff in that. I'm super, super glad that I finally just like learned it. I've been wanting to for a long time and I just never did. And I'm sitting here like, it literally took me no time at all to learn how to do that. And now I know how to do it. And not like, why did I not do this sooner? So this is what the other square looks like. So I am loving that. So that puts me at 6, 7, 8, 9 squares. And since I am doing them in the size that originally the hodgepodge cow was, I should need 30, and then I should be able to put them together and make a blanket. So I'm planning on continuing to work on that. I would like to get it done by Christmas. I don't know with the 25 days of Christmas going on how that's going to go. I'm actually also considering doing maybe learning some more new techniques that I've been wanting to learn, and using those, as long as they are like, you know, a tighter stitch like this. Hubby really, really, really loves the C2C, by the way, like just as much as he loved the offset Trinity, which was part of why I went ahead and just did it. I showed it to him after the first square and he was like, yes, absolutely, yes, I want those in the blanket too. So I'm like, you know what? I showed him some mosaic crochet recently and he really liked it. And so I'm kind of thinking maybe I will try learning some mosaic crochet with some squares. It'll just depend on if I'm able to easily make them the right size for the blanket. With the C2C, it was really easy to make them, you know, whatever size you want to. So if I can figure out, you know, I don't know how the mosaic will work as far as me working it up to any size or anything like that, or if it'll have to be more methodical about the size than just doing it to whatever size you want to, if that makes any sense. But I am hoping maybe I could squeeze that in over this next month. Maybe I'll like incorporate it into my 25 days of Christmas. I might be able to do that. That's something I'm gonna have to think about. But anyways, I've kept you guys way too long just yapping. But I wanted to have today be a little bit of a catch up about the weekend, let you guys know what's up, let you guys know what's coming up this week. Lots of exciting stuff. Keep your eyes peeled for Gnome of the Month on Saturday. I'm going to be showing you guys our birthday gnomes. You guys know that last month's birthday gnomes, gnome of the month was birthday gnomes. So I made a birthday gnome for Shannon, the Spoony Stitcher, and she's making a birthday gnome for me, and we're going to be sending them to each other and showing them to each other. And so on the day of the videos, we're going to send each other an email with pictures of what they look like so that we can like react on camera while we're doing our Gnome of the Month videos to our gnomes. And then if you guys want to see each other's gnomes, like if you want to see her gnome, you'll have to go over and look at her channel. But also I'm doing a collaboration like of a kit for Gnome of the Month for December, and I'm really excited about it. So make sure you guys tune in for Saturday's gnome to see something a little bit different than usual. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I am looking forward to getting into the 25 days of Christmas with you guys really soon. I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye!